Welcome back. Going to be doing a little bit of news here, a little bit different for the channel, something I'm going to test out this season. And there's a lot to talk about every single day, every single week. So we'll dive right into it. The EA Sports College Football 26 trailer came out yesterday. A lot of excitement with that. And there are things that we wanted to learn, and there's a lot to unpack here. There's plenty of changes and updates to the game, and we knew that was going to happen, especially last year. When you look at the game that we got, we knew it was going to be just getting the game out. It wasn't that it was going to be super basic, but we knew it wasn't going to be as detailed as maybe we wanted it to be. EA, to their credit, listened to what the consumer wanted. And one of those things is the details of the game, the little details in the game presentation. You saw in the trailer Clemson getting off the bus. You heard Enter Sandman for Virginia Tech. It was the theme of the trailer. It's been confirmed that it's going to be in the game, and that's really exciting because the game presentation is part of the experience. I think one of the things that's going to be really cool is you're going to get to experience college football in this game. You will get to experience the entrances, the home field experience, the things that make college football unique. So things like Clemson getting out of the bus, the light shows that you saw in the trailer, those are really cool. It sounds like the sky will be different depending on what time of the year you're playing. Those things are really cool for the consumer that is looking for the experience. And in a day and age where video games are kind of going towards how can we make the most money, that game presentation kind of goes away. And you see it on social media all the time too. They compare the newest version of Madden, NHL, college football to a version of it 14, 13, whatever, 10 years ago, if you will. The versions that they put out, they show the detail. And I hope that college football can be a trendsetter with that, where you show we can bring these things back, we can make these things unique, because they had those in the old games, and that's what made it really fun. Now, it appears that Arch Manning, unlike College Football 25, will be in the game. That's another big one, if you will. And ultimately, the coaches are in there as well. You've seen a number of coaches be in the game. The other thing is that the graphics, to me, look a lot cleaner. I think it looked very crisp in the trailer, and that's another small detail that's, again, not super exciting, but to me, that is a sign that they are making improvements to the game. Now, details of things that have been confirmed. Road to Glory, you can start in high school. That's one thing that we wanted going into the game. That shouldn't have been too much of a debate. That's exciting. You also get to create like a highlight tape, have a hat ceremony commitment. You can commit early and decommit. So some of the things that maybe you don't like about college football, but just little details. Again, it's all about the experience, and that's what's really exciting that EA listened. I really like that EA ultimately decided we still want to make money. We still want this product to be successful for us. But how do we do that? It's not just redoing all the same things over and over again. They did things that a lot of franchises, I think, haven't done, which is listen to the things that the consumer wants and actually implement them. These small changes may seem not really that important, but to the people playing the game, they notice. They are excited and they know what they want. So Road to Glory is another part of that. Those little details make this game so much better and so much more exciting for someone that maybe is on the fence about getting this game. Dynasty also has some interesting aspects of it. So you have an expanded and unpredicted transfer portal with thousands of players. Now, this could get a little bit frustrating. I'm curious if they'll give you the option to change the intensity of the transfer portal, or if it's just you get what you get. Recruiting has changed for a little bit with new location-based visits, deal breakers, dynamic traits. So we'll see what those all entail. Crossplay is a really exciting one for a lot of people. If you have Xbox or PlayStation, I think a lot of people really want that. Team Builder, it says that you can refine details. I'm curious what that means. I'm curious how much you can do. Can you change names of players? Can you change ratings of players? How much can you actually customize with that? And then formation subs and protected opponents. So there's a lot of things that went into the details of the game. And that's really exciting for the fans. There's also 2,700 new plays, which is really cool. Like I mentioned before, 300 plus real coaches are in the game. Intensified home field advantage, again, experiencing college football is what will make this really exciting if you are a fan of the details of the game. So if you're a fan of that, this is right up your alley. That's really exciting. I can't wait for it to come in July. And if you haven't checked out my gaming channel, go ahead and do that. You can find it. I'll link it here, link it in the bio as well. Next thing we're going to is Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. Now, this was a couple days ago, but they talked about teaming up when they were on a visit to Georgia. And it's crazy how hindsight's 2020, you look back and think, oh man, that would have been absolutely insane. And I wanted to look at what the offense would have looked like. So this year, the offense would have been insane. Gunnar Stockton's coming back. The wide receivers and tight ends that he gets to throw to would have been Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, Noah Thomas, Zachariah Branch, Dylan Bell, Colby Young, Oscar Delp, Lawson Lucky. That's an absolutely stacked offense. Good luck stopping that. And even if you have concerns about Gunnar Stockton, I don't necessarily think you have to worry about that if you had this amount of talent there. That's insane. Now, last year, here's where there's a little bit of debate. 2024, Carson Beck would have been the quarterback, and then the wide receiver room would have included Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, Arian Smith, Dominic Levet, and Dylan Bell. There's a chance that Ryan Williams probably does not play a lot in that group, and here's what I mean by that. Jeremiah Smith, absolutely phenomenal. There is no way he was not going to play last year on any roster. He would have started anywhere. Ryan Williams, maybe not the case. Alabama had quite a few openings for people to step up, and Ryan Williams obviously took one of those. They didn't have as many veterans on their roster that they could rely on, so they maybe needed him to step up in a big way. Now, he wasn't as consistent as I think people are realizing. So when you have an Arian Smith, Dominic Levet, and Dylan Bell, those veterans are probably going to get preferential treatment for reps and catches and targets just because they have that proven talent already. And then Ryan Williams is more of that fill him in. So while people are saying that's really exciting, and it is, don't get me wrong, this year would be absolutely insane. There is a chance that I think Ryan Williams maybe isn't as big of a name. He's not maybe on the cover of College Football 26. But again, it's a hypothetical. It doesn't really matter. It just would have been really cool, especially in 2025 with Georgia looking to get revenge and have a better performance in the playoff. That's an offense that would be absolutely unstoppable. College Football Hall of Fame decreases their required win percentage. And this, a lot of people are just going to call it the Mike Leach rule. It's something we've talked about for a while in college football about it's too bad that Mike Leach didn't have the one win. He was one win short of the win percentage eligibility. Now he's eligible with them moving it down from .600 to .595. That's exciting. Mike Leach deserves that. There's also a couple other coaches that people were bringing up. Kirk Ferentz would be eligible according to people after this. Other people were bringing up a number of different coaches, but Mike Leach was one of those coaches that was just so unique and beloved by so many that they probably would have made an exception for him. And I think that I don't necessarily know if I like changing the requirements, but I also know if you make one exception, then what's stopping you from making more exceptions? So I kind of get it at the same time. But the whole point is that Mike Leach is eligible for the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. A couple other coaches that fall into this also deserve it. And especially in this day and age of college football where winning is going to be more challenging than it was in the past, it was just the right thing to do. Texas and Ohio State officially announced as Big Noon kickoff. This has been a debate for a lot of people because of Big Noon kickoff's role in college football. I like that they try to do something unique, but there's also something to playing a night game. And I get that they don't want to compete with ESPN. They don't want to do a direct comparison, but some of these noon games are just not giving the same energy as a night game. You don't get a chance to build the hype. You go right from the pregame show into the game. So some of those games, it's really hard to get excited for them. It's really hard to build any of that anticipation. So I just think that that's really hard. Now, obviously, Texas and Ohio State, there was an attempt to change the date of the game. That was denied. Texas obviously said that they didn't want to do it. So there's been plenty of talk surrounding this. I don't know. I get what Big Noon Kickoff is trying to do. I do enjoy that show. I think that there's very good analysis on that show. Plenty of good football minds. I just don't like that part of the new era of college football means that we're changing games to worse time slots. But it is what it is. I think it's still going to be a good game. We'll see what happens. Arch Manning in a big environment, Julian Sain in a big environment. We'll see what happens there. USC and Notre Dame are also in the news because of the series ending after 2025. It's honestly, this is some of the things with college football need to get sorted out just to save some things like this. Marcus Freeman wants to play USC. He said they should play every single year. He thinks that they deserve to keep that tradition going, and I want traditions like this to keep going. I want it to be a thing in college football. I want them to be able to play, and it's a fun series. It's a fun rivalry that has had some really good games in the past, and it's just hard to see what some of this new stuff in college football is doing, and it seems like there aren't many people that want to fix it right away. And obviously you have to wait for certain things to play out, but I just really hope relatively soon that we can figure those things out. Then the final thing, the SEC scheduling model, they're kind of debating what they're going to do, how this benefits them. Brian Kelly came out a couple days ago and said they think it's 9 SEC games plus 1 Big Ten game. Again, I don't like that the SEC and Big Ten are trying to just do their own thing, but I also get it. I get what they're doing. They're doing what's best for them, and it makes sense on that end. I just don't like for the whole of college football that this is where we're going. But then CBS reported that it's actually 8 SEC games plus 1 Big Ten. Either way, that's a really interesting schedule. There's plenty of exciting games. Even with that crossover, we talked about having challenges like college football or college basketball does. So the SEC Big Ten challenge in football, just line up those games. And what I don't want is all these teams that are the best in the SEC to play the worst teams in the Big Ten and vice versa. That's just not going to be fun. That's not going to provide any value. And that's another issue with college football is let's create a ton of value where you're producing exciting games against some of the top teams in the country. But lots to be sorted out. There's still plenty to discuss. This is a really exciting time still for college football, and we'll see what happens. The offseason is full of things that don't include this actual season. So these are the things we have to talk about. These are the things we have to look forward to and discuss because the future of college football depends on it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the news of the day. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it if you do. Helps the channel grow. Goes a long way in supporting the channel. You can like the video, share the video with anyone. Make sure you comment. What are your thoughts on any of this? Are you excited for College Football 26? Any of these topics we discussed today, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say.